Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, I'm Santoshi Reddy. I help international students on various career aspects such as upskilling, reskilling, and also share my experiences from my time as an international student. I also visit high schools in Australia talking about career prospects for younger generations. In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 common challenges faced by international students. And this video is make you aware the common challenges and how you can overcome them. And during this video, I'm going to use my own experiences from my time as an international student and how I overcame these challenges. Without any further ado, let's get back into the topic. The first challenge, writing assignments. Yes, writing assignments was the major challenge for me after I enrolled into the university course, because the curriculum I was exposed to in my country was totally different to the curriculum in Australia. And what are these assignments, by the way? The assignments are the mini projects that you undertake during your course. And this can be done individually or you do with a group of other students. And these assignments requires a certain format and also certain referencing style where I was struggling with. But I was able to overcome with the help of my professors. And sometimes international students outsource these assignments to someone else to do on their behalf. I strongly recommend not to, because I found number of advantages by doing my own assignments, which I'm going to talk about 3. The first one was I was able to understand my subject better when I did my own assignments. And the second one, I was able to improve my writing skills, which not only helped me in the short run but also in the long run, which I'm going to talk about it further in this video. And the third one, it helped me to address the interview questions in the later stages of my life. What I mean by that is, you may be thinking, how come assignments is linked to addressing the interviews? In Australia, the employers test your soft skills, such as like how you behave in a team and how you collaborate with your team members, or how you deal with a difficult customer or an employee at workplace. So when you're doing your assignments in a group, then you may be exposed to these type of scenarios and you can use those scenarios as a base to address your interview questions. Hope you got my point. Second challenge, finding a right balance between full-time study, part-time work, and also personal life. Yes, this impacts those international students who have a drastic lifestyle change. For example, in my case, when I was in my country, my job was just to concentrate on my studies. But after I moved to Australia, there's so many tasks that came on my plate, such as looking after your own finances, living expenses, paying your utility bills, paying your phone bills, work part-time, full-time study, and personal care, and also doing house chores such as cleaning, washing, and cooking. So I was unable to digest these tasks for some time because it was too overwhelming. Eventually, I was able to find a right balance between these 3 tasks using 2 strategies. The first strategy, time management. Yes, using my time effectively really helped me to overcome this challenge. For example, I used to work and study from Monday to Friday. So only 2 or 3 days I used to have college. In Australia, you don't need to go to college every day. So you'll have only 2 or 3 days in a week. So and remaining time you can use for your part-time work. So I was going to uni for 2 or 3 days and the remaining time I was using for part-time work. And Saturday, Sunday were my off days. So I used to allocate 1 day for house chores and personal care. And the remaining day I used to allocate time for study to catch up on my week classes. This technique really helped me to get on track with other things. And the second strategy I adopted was being proactive. Yes, being proactive really helped me. For example, I was having an assignment due in 6 weeks time. So I used to start from day 1. So from bit by bit, step by step, and aim to finish 1 week before the due date. So it helped me to relieve the stress at the submission time. So that was another strategy that I have implemented. Hope you may find it useful. Third challenge, finding a part-time job. Yes, finding a part-time job is another challenge faced by international students. There are many factors associated to it, such as job market. When you came, maybe the job market is quiet, or It could be lack of knowledge or guidance on how to find part-time jobs, or it could be adjusting to the new environment, language, or culture. So all these factors contribute to the delay in finding a part-time job in Australia. So in my case, I was not an exception to it as well. So I was having a challenge as well finding a part-time job. But I overcame with two strategies again. The first strategy I used was I did all my homework before I moved to Australia. So I did what are the job search sites available, and also what are the opportunities available for international students to work part-time. So this really helped me to start my search as soon as I arrive in Australia. Second strategy, I took help from the professionals. Luckily, I was a paying guest at one of the family who were working in a professional jobs. So they helped me to modify my resume and also gave me some information on how to address the interview questions and also where to find the resources to prepare for the interviews. So I used to go to library and sit in the library and read all those books relating to addressing the interview questions, because in those days we didn't had internet as we have now. One tip I have for you is the more rigorous you search for jobs, the quicker you get it. So this I have learned from my experience. Maybe it may work for you as well. Fourth challenge, cracking English exam. Cracking English exam was one of the most difficult challenges that I faced as an international student. This may not be applicable to all international students, because some international students, they study overseas and they go back to their country and pursue their career in their country. And some international students, they aim to migrate to that country where they have studied. So in my case, I have taken the second option, where I aimed to migrate to Australia on permanent basis. So for that, you need to have certain skill set, so especially English proficiency. For that, you need to write an English exam to show that you have sufficient proficiency for skilled migration. So when I migrated, my English levels were this much, but the expectation of the Australian immigration was this much. So I had to develop a lot of English skills along the way. How I overcame this challenge? The first strategy I used was I took the help of friends and colleagues. And I used to have Australian colleagues at work, so I used to ask them how to pronounce certain words and how to use the vocabulary. And especially I would like to thank a friend who helped me a lot on this occasion. Her name is Nazneen. She was my classmate and she was very good at English, and she helped me a lot in improving my writing and as well as speaking skills. Second strategy, practice. Practicing IELTS test papers to catch up to the speed of the duration of the exam. That really helped me. Nowadays, you have number of resources available on internet, number of YouTube channels talking about how to crack IELTS or PTE exam, or number of YouTubers who talks about how to improve your English, and they also teach you English. I follow two YouTubers who really helped me as well in improving my English, and I'm not linked to these YouTubers in any way. This is just my personal opinion about these YouTubers, because they have, after following them, my English skills developed a lot. And I recommend you to follow a native speaker, because native speaker not only teach you English but also they teach you culture of that country, because some words in one country may be rude, but in some countries that may not be rude. So only native speakers know their own culture, so they help you a lot to understand the culture of the country as well. So I have shared in the link below for you to explore on that. And the fifth challenge, accumulating points for your permanent residency status. Yes, this is another great challenge. If I had to rank between 1 to 10, 1 being the simple challenge to 10 being the toughest challenge, I say 10, especially for international students, because international students have to develop a lot of skills to get to a permanent skilled migration level, because permanent Australian immigration or any other country's immigration, they look for permanent migrants to have certain level of expertise and experience in their field of study. So for that purpose, you have to develop all those skills, because international students start their journey from scratch. They start from zero, which happened in my case, and they have to develop all those skill sets to match to the expectations of the immigration department. So I have developed all these skill sets by overcoming the challenges that I have mentioned earlier. So they added a lot of skill sets along the way. I would like to make a point here. The intensity of these challenges will differ based on your level of expertise, level of education, and level of work experience. For example, my friend Nazneen, who was very good at English, for her, cracking English exam and writing assignments was not at all challenge for her because she had very good English skills. And level of experience, yes, level of experience. For example, for me, cracking my first job in my field of study was not a challenge because I had prior experience in my country before moving to Australia. So I worked for 11 months. Those really helped me, and I was lucky enough to get a job in my field of study. So that was not a challenge for me to gain certain points for my permanent residency visa. And the third one, level of education. For example, you have completed Masters of Commerce in your country and you are here to pursue Master of Professional Accounting or Master of Commerce overseas. So for you, it's stepping from one step to the other. So you may not have much difficulty there. But for some international students, which I have seen, they study Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Commerce in their country and try to pursue Master of IT or Master of other totally different course. Then for them, it may face a bit of difficulty in learning from the scratch and completing their coursework. So these are the challenges faced by international students. The aim of this video is to make you aware that you are not alone in this journey. International students go through a number of phases along the way, from student to a permanent migrant status. So during this journey, you go through a number of phases, and along the way you have to develop so many skill sets, and which may expose you to a number of self-doubts and also unknown depression, because you have been trying to do something but you're not getting the expected results. So I also went into unknown depression sometimes, and also self-doubts. I was having so many self-doubts along the way that am I able to make it to the end of the tunnel. But believe me, if you are really committed and determined towards your goal, definitely you reach your goal. Because I was able to see the end of the tunnel, and so you. Just believe in yourself and make yourself aware that you are not alone in this journey. There are a number of international students who are in the same boat as you, and not only your time but also the previous international students who have gone through the same phase of difficulty. So keep working towards your goal, and definitely you reach to the end of the tunnel. I hope this information is very useful, and if you like it, please share and subscribe to my channel. I'll come back with another topic. Until then, bye. Thank you.